everyone, this episode is sponsored by Fight Energy. Fight is your all-in-one go-to health drink. Fight is not only just an energy booster, it is a mood booster as well. So with your daily dose of vitamins, nootropics, 0 calories, it is your all-in-one health drink. I drink Fight every day. My clients drink it. Someone you probably know drinks it. And you guys, what I'm offering for as we get into 2025, we're doing a discount for 25% off your first order if you type in LYB. Okay, so we'll know that you came from the podcast, and that way we can make sure you get some Fight Energy and some other little goodies thrown in there too. So if you get a chance, we would love to know which team you are. Are you team strawberry? Are you team blueberry? Hey everyone, welcome to the LYB podcast. Today's guest, we have Miss Heidi Smith, and I'm so excited. If you don't know of her, you should, because every time I talk about Alpha Cookies, she's the one behind it. So I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
I know it's like a huge step out of the comfort zone, right?
Very much so.
Yes.
Like usually Ramon will do all of the talking.
Right.
He likes to talk to people. So I'm like, he's very comfortable in front of a camera and like that aspect of things. So.
Which is so funny because I've only ever heard Ramon say like 2 words. And that's usually like hello.
Yeah.
And goodbye. And like, you know what I mean?
Sometimes, yeah. So he can, depending on the environment, he can be very business.
In all fairness,
mindset.
He's probably like, it's always been like a workout thing. Like he's either working out or he's like training. So, but when you said that, I was kind of like, okay, Heidi. Like, I feel like you talk more than him, but okay. Like whatever, however you want to say it. But no, I'm so excited to have you on. You brought,
Thank you.
The cookies for the Christmas party, which was so great. So I'm so excited about that. And, a little treat for them. But, we've talked about this before about being like female entrepreneurs. And the fact is that we never have time to sit and actually talk or actually even like have a, even type of a meeting or even just a catch up. Right. Yeah. And so I really I know a little, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, you're a mom of, is it 3?
Yeah, 3 boys.
Okay, 3 boys. So, yeah, whole, crew with you. And ages are what?
Our youngest is about to turn 7.
Okay.
And then our middle is 14.
Okay.
And our oldest is 19.
Okay. All right. So, some spaces in between.
Yeah, we definitely hit the restart button with the baby.
Right. Well, which is crazy because those watching on YouTube, which you should be and subscribe as well. But Heidi just looks so young. So every time when I know you have like an older son, but it was just like you said, he's coming back from England.
Yeah, he's over there playing soccer.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not even like little kids. Like you got.
Yeah. He's 2nd year, and then our middle one, I'm like, I have to think of everything. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Our middle is a freshman in high school.
Okay.
And then the baby's in 1st grade.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
yeah, we're all different realms.
Yeah. So before we get into like what you do for your job and everything, so with that, was it one of those things where, like you and Ramon, were y'all like high school sweethearts? Like, when did y'all meet? Because I don't know any of that.
No. Ramon is 6 years older than me.
Okay.
We are both born and bred Nashville natives.
Okay.
We actually grew up probably like 2 streets apart and never knew it.
What? I had no idea. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we used to run around all the same spaces and those in Antioch, like they know Una, so we used to do like baseball and football and cheerleading and all that stuff there. And we just never ran into each other. Obviously, probably from back then when we were growing up, the age difference.
Yeah, for sure.
But I went to MTSU.
Okay.
And right out of high school, and then I got pregnant with Malachi.
Okay.
So I kind of moved back home, which, oh my gosh, 30 minutes is so far.
Right. Hey, but when you're out on your own, though, feeling like, it does feel like a lot.
So I moved back home. I had Malachi, and then Ramon and I met we met in 2007.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. So Malachi, I think, had just turned 2.
Okay.
When we met.
Okay.
But that's Dad.
Yeah.
They love each other.
Okay. Does Malachi, is his, birth dad not in the picture? Okay.
No.
Gotcha.
No. Yeah. Ramon is Dad.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think, we got together in September of '07.
Okay.
Like we had met at a bike night in, where was it? Over by Opry Mills.
What's a bike night? Like motorcycle bikes? Like
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
People just bring them and.
Yeah. So Ramon stunt rides.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
So he is one of his many hats that he wears. He is a professional stunt rider.
Wow.
So I don't know if he was doing a show that day.
Okay.
But like I had brought Malachi and a friend of mine introduced us and was like, yo, I really want you to meet this guy. His name's Ramon. And I met him and I've got Malachi on my hip and I was just like, hey, what's up? You know, it's nice to meet you. I heard you want to meet me. Cool. You know?
Right.
And I ended up, the mutual friend of ours, I did the cover of a calendar.
Okay.
That they did. He is a veteran, so they did it.
Nice.
All the proceeds went to Fisher House.
Okay.
And when we did the launch of the calendar, Ramon looked at the cover and was like, I want her.
Okay. And what happened? Like
a couple months later,
yeah,
we met again at a different bike night, the one at, it used to be Coconut Bay in Murfreesboro.
Yes, I know exactly. Yes, what you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
It used to be Coconut Bay. And then that was it.
Well, wait, so you mean he was like, I want her, like, that's like my wife?
I want to marry her.
What?
Yeah.
Based off a picture. That must have been a great picture, huh?
I like it. I was very tan.
Yeah.
Not like right now.
No, I got you.
Very, very tan.
Hey, the tans are magic, but you're beautiful, so I get it. So when that happened, so that was like '07 when okay.
When we got together.
Okay.
We got engaged in 3 months. We got married on that 365th day.
Oh my gosh.
1 year.
So was it like, okay, well, because we know how he felt, but like when you saw him and you met him, were you like the same way? Or was it more
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, who is this little caramel man right here?
He is caramel.
Okay. He's very caramel.
Yeah, he is.
Very caramel.
Beautiful for sure too. I love that. Okay.
Yeah. So I think me and Malachi, we moved in like 2 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
okay. So at the time when you were raising Malachi, like, did you go back to school to MTSU at all, or was it like?
I tried, and it did not go great. So it has been kind of like an on and off journey,
right?
But yeah, once we got out of, when did we go back to Murfreesboro? I'm trying to think. Mm-hmm. All my years have like blended.
Oh, I know. It's hard when you actually go back. Sometimes I refer back to stuff and I'll be like, 17. I'm like, dude, I was like 22. That's not right. Like, that's not the right.
I'm over here and I'm like, wait a minute. I was 22 in 07.
What? Wait, what?
I was 22 in 07.
Oh, okay. I can't do that. Wait. What is that? So 22, 32.
You said you were 22 in 17?
So I was 24 and 17.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were 22 and 17. I was like, oh God,
You're just what?
Lord.
You're 30.
I'll be 40.
40. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll be 40 next year.
Oh, yeah. But so when you so you were in Antioch, and then then was Ramon so you moved in with him and he was in Antioch still, or
yeah, he was more like Donaldson, over by the airport.
Okay, gotcha.
So it wasn't like a super big move for us.
Okay, yeah. So
on the other side,
right? So then, what brought you to Murfreesboro? Like, what was it like?
So we, against Ramon's wishes, when we got pregnant with RJ, we had already outgrown the house that we were in Donaldson, and I was like, look, honey, we've got to get this done.
Right.
Like, we can't put another baby in here. We've got Malachi, we've got Jace.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to find a bigger space. So we literally, our house, we actually have been there 7 years now.
Okay.
I think we were the first ones to go see it off the market.
Okay.
I think we signed, I was 8 months pregnant.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm big as a house, just over here,
man.
like, can we hurry up? I need to eat.
Yeah, you're literally like, I don't care, sign the papers. Like, we got to get in this.
Yeah, so we got, that was pretty much the reason that we kind of came out here.
Okay.
Because we were just looking for something bigger, and Murfreesboro had kind of better bang for your buck. So, right as the housing market in Nashville kind of started to really skyrocket, and I was like, jeez.
For sure. Well, I was going to say, because literally, that's like 7 years that you've been in that house, you said. Yeah. So, so you saw it kind of like as Murfreesboro was coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, it wasn't, because like I grew up there, so I'm from the borough. And so my parents' house is like down the road from where now like Carbon is and all that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so it's always just so funny because like across the street from where Carbon in the borough is like where my prom was, like at that Embassy Suites. But it was brand new at that time. Like it was brand new, and then we had a prom. Like, so anyway, so I always laugh when I go over there. I'm just like, wow, nostalgia.
Oh, man. Like I'll see things that were there, or like they've upgraded things from when I was in college there.
Right.
And I'm over here and I'm like, okay, they changed the name of that. I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't what it was called. Wait, it was called this. And, oh, I remember that. And I'm like, ooh, let me skip this part. Let me go over here.
100%. So now that y'all, so like when you moved to Murfreesboro, like what were you, because like just from the outside looking in, you and him seem to have such it's not even like I don't know, I would say like fun, I guess, relationship, like fun, like, but it more like just like, wholesome's not the right word, you know what I'm saying?
Aww.
But like that kind of relationship. I know that everyone like, Instagram's different than real life or whatever, but but anyway, people make it like that. But it just seems like it's very like, he is just like, I saw her, that was it. So like when you say it like that, like it all puts the pieces together from not knowing that before,
Oh yeah. Yeah. He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
he ain't going nowhere.
Which is great. But like
he's stuck.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think he wants to be stuck. Okay, it's not like that. Don't play it like that.
It's a voluntary stuck.
Exactly. Yeah. So what did he? So you said he like stunts and like for motorcycles and stuff like that. But then like he's a personal trainer. And then so did you meet him like when y'all met? Were you both living like? Because again, you just had a baby like 2 years prior. So like, were you into health and fitness at all, or like? How was that?
He has, let's see, pro stunt rider, semi-pro basketball player.
Okay.
Now pro physique, obviously that's years later.
Yeah.
So he always had a very slender physique. So Ramon.
Yeah.
Okay. He's 6'2", right now, the beginning of off season, solid.
Yeah.
240.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Right.
Solid 240. When we met, buck 90.
I was about to say, yeah, it was probably
it was around
a lot
that.
less muscle.
Yeah, it was around that. He was just very slender.
Yeah.
Versus, he's put on all the muscle.
Yeah.
So he was always like, he would go to the gym and he would do like really intense, and I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
That's great for you. I love that for you. I'm going to go over here and do this over here.
Okay.
But yeah, he grew up with sports, and I grew up playing sports. So I was a gymnast.
Nice.
I did the competitive cheerleading. I played soccer.
Okay.
I did basketball, like growing up, like youth basketball, like stuff like that. A little bit of softball. I ran track. Okay. I'm like trying to think if there's
anything so
that
athlete.
I'm missing. He always gives me crap saying that when we first met, he was like, "You weren't athletic. I don't know what you're talking about." I'm over here like, okay, I got you.
Right.
I'll go with my bag. I'll pull out all my medals.
Right. Exactly. Like, I've been doing this.
Oh yeah.
So when he I guess, and I love that. I just want to say this like for people listening, because I think sometimes people think that like when it comes to relationships, you got to be into everything that they're into. Like if you know what I mean, or like on the same page.
Yeah.
And I always try to tell people like, when it comes to someone be like, oh, so you want somebody in fitness? And it's like, I don't want someone that's like a trainer. Like, you know what I mean? Or that does exactly what I do. Yeah. I actually would prefer someone that's like not in that space, but lives a healthy lifestyle. Right. So if they want to, if they lift on their own, they do whatever, like that's cool. Like I don't have to be lifting with you always. I don't have to be running with you always. Right. Like there just has to be some baseline of health. So it seems like you both had that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that then, was it like, after you got to Murfreesboro, is that when you started Alpha Cookies? Or like, when did that come out?
So I'm trying to think. I started competing in 2014.
Okay.
I think a friend of mine that I bartended with, her At the time, her husband was coaching.
Okay.
And she had talked about doing a show, and I was like, maybe if I give this a shot, I kind of get the rest of this baby weight off 4 years later. But I was like, it'll give me a goal to
for sure,
like push towards. And then I got hurt after my first season. Okay. So then I was like, hey, honey, I think you'd be perfect for this. Like, I think this would be great.
Wait, so you were in it first?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Okay.
I was in it for like two years before.
Okay.
Before he kind of jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what was the injury? What happened?
I tore my lat.
Oh my gosh.
For the first one.
Yeah. Was that like right after the show, or was that like
no? I think it was. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was into off season. I was at where was I? NAC.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was doing, but it sounded like this. It was the loudest like pop noise that I'd ever heard, and I was like, oh my goodness. And Wally, who ran the smoothie bar, I was like, hey, can I get a bag of ice?
Yeah.
He was like, what was that noise? I was like, just give me some ice, please.
Oh my gosh.
So he got me some ice and got me all fixed up, and then I went home. And so it took probably 2 years before I started.
Like, I don't even know how do you, what did they do? Like, what did you have to do?
No, I didn't have surgery.
Yeah.
But I just didn't do anything upper.
Right, I was gonna say, like, you didn't reach for nothing.
No,
Heidi, you told me when you're bartending,
just one.
You're bartending, and you're not doing
right.
drinks,
right. No, I took off. For a while.
Okay.
I'm the one I'm always getting hurt. Ramon's obviously the epitome of health and fitness, and I'm over here, and I'm like, I stubbed my toe, and I'm like, oh honey, I broke my foot.
Oh yeah, because that was right. Because I think you had a knee thing recently, right?
Oh God. Okay, so we'll just get this out of the way. Since COVID, or since right before COVID. So the last 4.5 years, I have had a bulge disc, tore my rotator cuff, my bicep in 3 places. I had abdominal surgery. I had a meniscus tear with surgery on my knee. Oh my I broke my foot and tore 2 tendons in the bottom of my foot on the other leg. I just am still getting over grade 2 calf tear.
Oh my gosh.
Are you playing in the NFL? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening right now? I haven't heard of. I know guys that are 14 weeks into the NFL season right now that don't have a list of injuries that long. That's crazy.
That's wild. But wait, being a mom though, like, what do you mean? Like, were you
fall? I'm running after. I'm always on the move. No, and I'm actually this last one. I'm actually having surgery next Wednesday.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So yeah. So
For which one?
For the calf?
No. Just like a sinus surgery. Okay, so that's where I'm going to get all that sleep that I was talking about.
Oh, I see. So you get to rest. Okay. Yes, which will be nice.
So for me, I was like, yeah, this is right for me to kind of like going back, like take a step back and let Ramon, I was like, hey, I really think like you would do amazing.
Yeah.
He jumps in it. We have RJ, he did his thing, and I think, he got his pro card after we had RJ. But after we had RJ, I was like, you know what? I followed Bikini Pro, who was it? Indian Paulino.
Okay.
And she had her son, I think like a month and a half before I had RJ. Okay. So I'd always watched her stuff on Instagram, and I was like, I mean, yeah, she is probably at the time she's like one of the best bikini in the world, and like she's won so many shows. But I was like, well, I mean, if she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna do it, knowing I'm having my 3rd C-section.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's figure this out. I'll get cleared, and then, we'll find my coach, and we'll kind of go and try to make it happen. And that's when I did prep for Night of Champions.
Okay.
So at the time, I was with Courtney English.
Okay.
Was my coach back then.
Yeah.
And he he was like, oh, you can have this, or, your cheat meal, you get 1,000 calories, or you get 1 hour, or, whatever it was back then. And
1 hour. That's
dangerous. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
Do you know what would happen if someone's like, you got 1 hour to eat whatever you want for a cheat?
Yeah, what?
It was.
How many alpha cookies can I eat in an hour? Like, that's what would happen.
Right. So
immediately sick.
We ended up, at the time we would grab some cookies from Crumble if we wanted some, and we would always split one, because I'm like, shoot, you get half of one, and it's like, man, this is loaded with sugar.
Yeah.
Loaded with just everything. Now there are still some that we're like, those are one of a kind. Like, I love those. And I can do a copycat that I've gotten better at. Mm-hmm. But then we realized what the macros really were. Yeah. And not a quarter of a cookie. And I was like, I've got to be able to be, I can bake.
Right.
I should be able to do better than this. Yeah.
Which is also whoever says that they eat a quarter of a cookie, I just want to kick him in the face.
Oh,
if I'm being honest.
You're lying.
Yeah, I was going to say too, I think 9.9 out of 10 people that go in there and buy a crumble cookie have no idea that that's 4 servings.
Right.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because you buy a cookie, you think, oh, it's a cookie, so that's the serving.
Exactly.
Right. You don't even think about it.
Yeah. And it's and you shouldn't have to think about it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
They don't even know.
I'm like, what if I want the whole thing? I've had a really rough day today. I need the whole thing.
Right.
Oh, I just had half the calories.
But literally your daily allowance, really. Especially in a prep.
Oh. You probably had 3 days worth of extra allowance per one.
Exactly. So you saw this because you're like, okay, that because this was how many years ago? This was when?
This was I had RJ in 2018.
Okay.
1918. Yeah. So I had. When was it? I think it was the first year they did Night of Champions. Okay. So back when it was still at Vanderbilt.
Gotcha. So before COVID? It was before COVID? Yeah, it's 2019. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you basically are like, okay, I need a solution. These cookies aren't cutting it, but I need a sweet treat. Mm-hmm. So I can do this. Or this is kind of your mindset.
Yeah. So we started off, we tried a couple different flavors. Yeah. So started with 4.
Okay.
So those are our top 4 classics. So our Pinky, our Little Red, the Cream of the Crop, and the Peanut Butter Lover.
Okay. Nice.
Going into peak week
Yeah.
of that show, I made all the samples.
Okay.
So we had talked to a lady that pretty much kind of started the same way, Bourbon Bakery up in Louisville. And she used to do, she would go set up tables at shows. She was like, but before she did that, she was like, hey, let me see if I can get my product and see the response that I get.
Yeah.
So she would go hand out samples.
Okay.
Ramon went around.
Just giving out samples.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at the show.
Just getting feedback and just kind of seeing what it was. And I was like, that was probably the hardest one for me, in peak week, having to bake everything.
Yeah.
And
it sounds miserable. I'm not gonna lie to you. For example, I remember Alexa would put on her story that she would make Cody peanut butter sandwiches or whatever. And I was just while she'd be in a prep or something or whatever. And I was just absolutely not. Make your own sandwich. My husband is probably watching this and be yeah, the future husband's gonna be yeah, she's not making me anything. But you know what I mean though? You peanut butter and then and doing that. I mean, so I can't imagine with the cookies and all the ingredients and all that too. Because guys, for those listening that don't understand what a peak week is and with bodybuilding and whatever, literally, if you've ever gone on a diet, just imagine that, but times 1,000, but also times being sick because you feel your energy's low. Also, imagine just feeling you can't even think straight. So the fact that you're doing ingredients, you're making stuff is huge.
Oh shit, that was way too loud. I've told you before that it reminds me of fighters that weight cut, and it's extremely dangerous. There's an argument that they really shouldn't be doing that because you got guys that are walking around at 190 pounds that are weighing in at 155 and stuff like that. And then they balloon right back up the next day, but they have to get all the way down there for just one weigh in. And they look like they're dead. Like,
right.
Skeletons.
Well, what's bad about this though is this is like a slow burn. Like this is like a slow kill. Like you know what I mean? Like because doing strongman, we had to do that with weight cuts and stuff. And like I would sweat. I would sit in the sauna for literally hours on hours and hours, and just to make a weight. And then literally as soon as I was done, they got me. I'm like immediately water, eat, all the things, and then I'm back up 12 pounds, 15 pounds.
So crazy.
Quick.
Yeah. But like,
quick.
but with this and with bodybuilding and stuff like that, like you really, the mistake that what I saw always was that like when it was the day after, then everyone would just like let everything go. They're eating whatever. And really like people were like, well, what are you going to have that night? And stuff like that. I'm like, look, like I thought about it. So I was like, I deeply thought, and really the only thing that after my first prep that I could get down was the alpha cookies. Like I got a video of me eating it and whatever. And then we went to like go have pizza after.
Yeah.
I took like a couple bites of pizza and was like, I'm done.
You're like, I can't do it.
Like I literally, and I was so disappointed, and obviously got better with the shows and whatever about stuff.
Yeah.
But that was like the safest thing that I could have was your cookies. So tell us about, so like after you did that and the samples, was everyone's response just like, yes, like this is a go?
Yeah. So we got really, really good feedback from that show. And I ended up adding one more. I think I added Muddy Buddy.
Yeah, okay.
And at the time, obviously we were really good friends with everybody that was on our team. So I was like, hey, let's give this a go.
Right.
Like I'll do this for like a small set of people.
Yeah.
Like small groups. So it kind of started with like just the people that were kind of like on our team.
Okay, yeah.
Where like I would take orders and do different things like that. But
like people that your coach was coaching also, you mean? Okay, got it. Okay.
Because we were all doing the same shows and obviously the group workouts and everything. So they're like, hey, let me try this. Yeah. So do you know HUD? Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio Huston. He's getting ready for Nationals next week, which is so exciting. Yeah. He did our very first, like, I think he put it on YouTube, like a cookie review or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, Ramon and I, when we watched it, we were dying.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Oh, my gosh.
And, like, I was so thankful for it. Because, like, even whether it's baking or even, like, you know, I bartended for 15 years. Mm-hmm. You make something, and I want to see your first reaction.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know what it is.
Right.
I want to see if that translates to the next person.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And even if it doesn't, I'm like, okay, well, what would you do different? Like, I'm super open to, like, all the feedback. Because what I like might not be what you like. Or what the next person or whatever. Because I know, like, when we were doing yours, like, you were like, no, I don't want this, or I don't want this, or I don't want this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, but that helps me. Yeah. That helps me be able to be like,
Make
okay,
me sound better,
how
Heidi.
can...
Make me sound better.
No, Ramon tried it, and he was like, I've been sleeping on it. I've been sleeping on it. I've been sleeping on this cookie. It's so good.
Like me in general. Like people sleeping on it.
No, it's really good. I actually had somebody at Carbon the other day. He two cookies out of the fridge, and he was like, I was like, what'd you get?
Yeah.
I was like looking over the desk and like, which one'd you get? He's like, oh, I got 2 strawberry crunch.
Hey.
Like, okay.
You're like, I know. That's awesome. I love that. What'd you say? Oh yeah. Do you want to tell them that the strawberry crunch one is? So that.
Yeah. So we did the cookie. It is the base is a strawberry sugar cookie with we've got sugar-free strawberry jelly in the center. Yeah. Topped with a vanilla drizzle and a sugar-free strawberry crunch. Yes. So literally like the strawberry ice cream bars, where you grow the crunch bars we were growing up. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And we did it for like a Dandy Fitness because like Coral is like my move fit. Yeah. So it's like my Love Your Body and stuff like that. So that was perfect. Yes. So I love that. And also too, it was a nice like change for some of my girls too, for like a sugar-free, like the jelly and like all of that too, you know? So that was a good, like I thought just overall, like refreshing, like, you know what I mean? Not super like.
It's hard with anybody like in the fitness world, like even like just the regular like gym goer or like the soccer mom or whoever it is, like I want a cookie sometimes, but no, I can't have a big thing like, but I don't want it to taste like chalk.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't want it to be like chewy.
Right.
I don't want it to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just paid $6 for this cookie and I'm going to pass it off to my kid who I know is going to like eat anything. Like, I want to be able to have a better option.
Yes.
But not sacrifice the taste.
No, 100%. And that's the biggest thing too with that one is I felt like it was like kind of like it's kind of like me in terms of like there's like the sweetness on the inside, but then there's like on the outside, there's like the crunchy. So it's kind of like a little bit like more abrasive. Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening and subscribing to the LYB podcast. Please make sure that if you haven't yet to check out my Patreon, I would love to have you on there for exclusive deals, exclusive upcoming things and clips, as well as we have my Get Your Movement In Challenge, which is coming up soon. So we'll have awesome sponsors like Alpha Cookie 615, as well as Clone Apparel. We have Glam Up. We have all the Eye Relief Therapeutics. Like so many people that are going to be involved with some awesome prizes. And I'm so excited for this challenge. We're going to have either 12 weeks of 12 push-ups a day, or we have 12 we're going to do 12,000 steps a day. Also, we're going to have a calendar for you guys so that way you can track your protein, your water intake, as well as your movement. So if you're feeling like you're needing like that pick me up for the new year and to stay focused on your journey, would love to have you a part. Just DM me or send an email at danny@dannyfitness.com.
All right, guys. My name is Heidi Smith. I am owner of Alpha Cookies 615. We are out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are wanting more information about our macro-friendly cookies that we offer, you can hit us up, DM. I literally will be the one to message you back on our Instagram page at Alpha Cookies 615. See you there.
But yeah, so that's where like I was excited about, getting to do that. So thank you again so much. Yeah. But yeah, and that's the thing too. So like when you started, I mean, did you imagine, like, because you were bartending for like 15 years. So, like, first off, what got you into bartending? And then also, like, were you cool with leaving that? Or was it something that you were just like, I have to because I got to do it? Like, how was that?
So, I actually, how did I get it? The service industry in 06. So, like, right after, like the year after I had Malachi. Yeah. And I didn't really get into bartending until, this also tells my age. I started bartending before Hooters had liquor.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I don't know. Don't look at me. I've been at Hooters one time.
I assumed that was like day one with Hooters, honestly.
No, they used to only serve beer.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah, they used to only serve beer.
Okay.
So when they swapped into to be able to serve liquor, that's when I started bartending.
Okay.
So
you served tables before that?
Yeah.
I'd served tables for like 7 years, so I'm actually oddly curious about this part of this story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I'm trying to think of when it was. I think it was January of 06. Okay. I went to the Harding Place Hooters. Mm-hmm. And got my first serving job. Okay. They were like, yeah, well, go ahead. Like, are you worried about the uniform? And I was like, no. Like, I'm cool with it. Like,
you're like, whatever.
I got a baby. I need to make some money. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, and, at the time when I was 20, I was like, oh, yeah, this is great. Oh, my gosh. I meet, like, you meet so many different people. And it actually, like, it opened up so many different opportunities for me. So like once I started bartending, and then I think the year after that is when Ramon and I got together. Okay. And he had been in the industry on the security side, downtown for years and years and years. So he got me downtown. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that was a whole different ball game. So
you go from like Hooters to like Broadway.
Yeah.
Real quick. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was way over my head. Okay. They're like, no, it's a sink or swim.
So is it kind of like you're bartending and he's doing security at the same place? Or was it just, okay, mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So
Did that ever get crazy? Like,
no.
Oh, okay. Like nobody ever tried to hit on you and he was like, I'm coming through? Like, okay.
Nope, I had more.
I just imagine like Coyote Ugly style up in here.
No.
Like,
and that will... that's a really good thing about like coming from Hooters. Like I learned how, and I'm not a flirt.
Yeah.
At all. Like I can have a good conversation, and I'm intelligent enough to hold a conversation with you and make it friendly.
Yeah.
And make it
You're
comfortable.
Not putting off those vibes.
No. So on my end, it was never like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh, this guy is just hitting on me. And I'm over here and I'm like,
right.
Can I get you a drink?
Exactly.
Like,
they're like, I'm not messing with you. Like,
oh, well, I'm not even there. And he'll come behind the bar. Or he would do something. And I'll be like, hey, babe, what's up?
Yeah.
And we keep it pushing. Like, we actually worked really, really well together.
Okay.
It took me a while because he was like, I need you to understand something. I'm not going to treat you any different.
Yeah.
Just because we're together. Like,
Right.
I have to treat you the same way that I do all the other bartenders.
Yeah.
All the other servers. He was like, because I don't want anybody being able to be like, oh, well, he's letting her kind of do whatever. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
I think I got moved more times for girls trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
Than the other way around.
Yeah, because they're probably drunk and like security, and they're trying to be like, let me in, and like.
Well, and he's very fine. He's a very nice looking gentleman. So I'm over here and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm here to see my man.
There it is.
And they're over here like, no, I want to see your man. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to try, baby girl, but
yeah,
he's not going.
Oh my gosh.
So we got out of that.
Mm-hmm.
He got out of the industry before I did.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think, after COVID, I think 2021 is when I finally I was like, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously we were already into the cookies.
Yes.
By then, but I had just I had tiptoed.
Yeah.
Into the
I remember
kind
us having that
of-
conversation. Like you
don't
literally being like, I
know
need
if
to
I'm
do it
ready.
because it's so much. Like,
Yes.
I mean, it was just, you're doing all these hours because I mean, you're bartending late at night, then you're trying to bake cookies, then you're trying to like operate, run that. And then also too, like I didn't know that it was just you like baking. You know what I mean? And so, because again, you know, you're thinking like, okay, like Ramon's helping out or maybe the kids or like whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so really like you're trying to do all of this and do a full-time.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
when you finally
it's-
let that go, were you just like relieved or do you miss it sometimes or?
No, I don't miss it. I miss some of the people.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's more social. You're like around more people.
yeah.
Now
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
more so just at home. Like,
oh, it's just me.
yeah.
Kids get on the bus. Ramon goes, for his clients in the morning, and then it's just me at the house. So it was definitely a huge, I'm gonna say, mental and physical toll when I finally walked away.
Yeah.
Because it was okay. Now I've got to recover from everything, but mentally, how do I go from I'm seeing thousands of people
Yeah.
in a shift to I'm gonna go to the store. Well, what do you need? Nothing. I just want to go see people.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to the person when I'm cashing out or whatever.
Right.
But that was probably the hardest
Yeah.
transition part for me.
Because would you say that it was like you were mainly like just by nature an extrovert and then or are you more introverted?
Oh yeah.
So you're more introverted, but
Yeah.
you do like the social aspect of being around being around people.
I guess that it depends on the people.
Okay,
It
I see what you're
depends on the
saying.
it depends on the situation.
Okay, gotcha.
Like
You're like, I can rally for the people that I want to be around.
Yes.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
and I totally get that.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm the same exact thing. I'm at home
Yeah.
all the time with my business, but I usually serve tables. Same.
Yeah.
So same thing. And I would say that I would I get where, to me it's almost like I needed that in some ways. To force me to go talk to people and force me to get out and force me to, you know what I mean? I'm not extroverted, but if you have a job where you don't have a choice, then
Yeah.
it's good for you that way. I
Yeah,
guess.
and that's what's so funny because it's like this now because we're at my house, so you've been here plenty of times, but we do the podcast here. We I train my clients out the LYB, so really if I didn't want to choose to go do anything, there's so many times where I'll sit there and be like, just go to, there's the new Carbon down the road, you know? So I'll be like, just walk there or go there, work out, just to be around people.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, no, I'm going to see somebody I know or whatever. The things that I'll put up in my head. I'm like, you just get it done in here. But then I'm like, but then also you're going to be in here the 12 more hours for the rest of the day. So I'm like, that's why for me, it was more about doing that. So I at least can get out and see people. And even if no one talks to me or I don't say anything, I don't know anybody or whatever, at least I'm around and I have the opportunity to do that. So I do feel that.
Yeah. It definitely, like, having kids and, you know, being married and then trying to, you know, obviously millions of people do it all the time. But like for me, it is very much of, I'm a wife, I'm a mom. So, oh wait, now I'm a business owner. I'm like, okay, how do I wear this hat that I've never worn before? I'm like, this is a whole new thing. And Ramon always gets on me. He's like, you got to talk to people. You got to talk to people. And I'm like, I just did 18 hours in the kitchen last night and I got done baking at 3:00 and it's now 7 and we're setting up. I'm like, baby, my energy's like, this is why you're here, love.
Yes.
This is why you're here. This is why we have our people come and help.
Yeah.
Because for me, it allows me that little moment to be able to like step back, but I still get to see people like at the table. Yeah. Like when they're coming up and like, oh, which one's the best? And Ramon and Huddle start arguing over which one of theirs is better.
Right.
Like I like being able to see that like just from a step removed.
Right.
Rather than being into the conversation because I make them. So I'm over here like what I think, again, might be the best is not what everybody else is going to choose.
Right. Well, and for people listening, so when you say the table, you're referencing like going to, because you do all of your stuff, you know, in-house at your house. Like you don't have a commercial kitchen. So you do have a commercial kitchen.
Yes and no. Like, so I kicked Ramon out of our gym.
Oh.
So we had a home gym.
Okay.
I took the space.
Got it.
So we have our double oven in there. I have my 2 fridges. I have my prep table. So I have a whole space.
Okay.
In a separate part of our house.
Okay, nice.
That I do all of that stuff.
And then when you say taking people like to the tables, like for events, when you go to that, okay,
like at a booth,
right? So you do like bodybuilding events, like some charity events. I've seen you at as well. Are you? And then but all of your sales usually are coming from people ordering online.
Yeah.
And so so do you solely just operate from like Instagram? Is that where you're?
Yeah, right now. So we've been working with a designer. We went through a couple of them to finally get a website so that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I do everything. When I say from start to finish, I literally mean start to finish. Yeah. So making the menus, you know, obviously shopping, prepping, baking, packaging.
Macros.
Yeah, macros, delivering or shipping. I do all of it. So to be able to have it go to a website, I'm like, that's going to take so much off my plate. I'm going to be like, yes. So we're in the last stages of finishing that up. But as of right now, it's just on Instagram. Okay. And you can like DM or we've got our email on there. You can email. But yeah, it's definitely... It's a lot.
I was going to say, I mean, I know it's a lot, like because of the system that you're.
It's a lot. I keep meaning to say she reminds me of somebody. I know I just can't put my finger.
Oh, whatever.
I just can't put my finger on who it is that she reminds me of.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that's we've come a long way. You know, so
for context, I get onto her. I used to, like she said, she's got a lot better, but for doing too much and running herself into the ground and these kind of things. Because she's awesome, she's amazing. But she does try to bite off a little, you know.
Oh, what do you think I did this week?
Yeah.
Right.
This is me that's what I'm saying. Every day.
That's what I'm saying. As I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm thinking, we've had these conversations before.
This is why it's like, it's so good for female entrepreneurs to actually like sit down and talk about this. Because again, I think that so many people put us in a box of like they have no clue the back end stuff that comes in, the things that have to happen, the processes that have to happen, that even from like automation, like I didn't want to spend the money on automation, I didn't want to spend the money on a system, but finally like, at the point where it's like I have to do it, and that has been a game changer. Like and again, if anything, if just for my sanity, if I had to make one more newsletter, I was gonna like jump out of something. Like
Yeah.
I was literally like, no, I don't like,
Yeah.
it's just not my vibe. I'm not good with technology. Like
Yeah.
I am great with like content, Instagram, whatever, all that kind of stuff. That's fine. But when it comes down to like the back end stuff of an email or whatever, you know, like I absolutely hate it.
All of that. I'm like, I'm terrible at Instagram. I'm terrible at content and posting. And like, that's Ramon's because, you know, he's a little more outgoing.
Right,
so
right.
it was way better when I was like, okay, honey, that's all. It's all you.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, Danny, I just wanted to say real quick, it's like one of those things that like it's like one of those things that if you have it, like you don't really notice it, like some of the back end stuff, unless it's not good, unless there's like a problem,
Right.
like from a consumer perspective.
Right.
So like to your point, I feel like people just assume that newsletters go out and they're perfectly typed and they're perfectly put together and their posts go out and they're perfectly, you know,
Who do you think does that?
it took you 30 seconds and
Like-
you know this, that, and the like I feel like they assume. And it's like, no, if we want to walk through every single step, we can, but it's certainly not what you think that it is.
And those things take money, you guys. Like that, I'm like, I mean, even as silly as like Zoom or whatever, you know, like those that add up, you know. And now I'm doing like Google ads, and then there's like, you know, there's other things like, because I'm not above trying anything once,
Right.
and that's why when people come to me, they're like, oh, well, have you done this? I'm like, yeah. Have you done this? And so it makes me seem like you know, maybe come off as like a know-it-all or whatever, but I'm like, no, like I've done this.
Right.
So if you got a different way or you think that this or whatever, like we can try it.
Right.
But that's where it always has been so frustrating because it's like people act like you haven't tried these things.
Man.
And it's probably like, I'm sure with you, like if somebody says like a cookie, like, oh, well, maybe if you just added this and you're like, yeah, bro, like I did that in 2000 and whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like I have struggled coming up with like new stuff because it's like, okay, how many different ways can I find a way to make something healthier?
Right.
And so I'll literally, so when we did yours or when we did Martha Marie's, the peanut butter s'mores,
Yes.
I was like, hey, just type me out a list of your likes or stuff that you definitely don't want.
Right,
and then I'm like, okay, now I have to figure out. And I'm like, if I'm good once I'm kind of like narrowed stuff down.
Yeah.
But like doing like a broad spectrum of like trying to come up with something new.
Right.
At the end of the day, probably every cookie has already been done.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's nothing new. Maybe a new like things that you put together.
Yeah.
Like different combinations, but everything's already been done. So for me, trying to make them stand out.
Yeah.
Whereas, because everybody labels them as protein cookies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not necessarily what we are. We're
Right.
just more macro friendly.
Right.
We do have protein
Yeah.
in each one of them, but just trying to keep the macros as
Yes.
nice as possible.
Yeah, which is great.
I'm like, but at the end of the day, they're still cookies.
I know.
They're
said
still
to my mom,
cookies.
She was like, "Oh shoot!" Like, but like again, it is one of those things of exactly what you said. It is a better option, and we need more better options.
Yeah,
and that is what I appreciate with it as well. And the biggest thing I will say too is that like even when you're talking right now, like. The fact is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel because you've already done this. Like you have a product that works, and people keep coming back. So I feel like the people that are like, oh, what's the next flavor? What's the next flavor? That's not your consumer. Your consumer is the one that buys religiously the same, like me, M&M. You know what I mean? Or the same whatever, or the same, like, and again, I could be different though because I'm so like I said, I'm fixated on like Thanksgiving. I just had your alpha cookies.
Yeah.
I didn't need the pie. I didn't need random cookies here or other stuff or whatever. I know what I like, and I'm going to have it. You know what I mean?
But I think for people in the fitness industry, also finding a treat option that sits well with your body too.
Yes, 100%.
Having gone through these preps with like myself and then Ramon, and then obviously like being able to see everybody at the shows, you know, all the competitors come up, and I'm like, don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Even as like
a
business person, which no, I want you to sell and sell. I want you guys to come back and I want you to buy. But at the end of the day, I don't I don't want you to overindulge to the point where, okay, now I don't want to get anything else.
Yes.
I don't want ever. No, I have one girl, shout out to Kanisha. She is down in Atlanta. I met her at the very first Nashville Fit Show.
So, like, Nisha? Like, hold on. Well, I don't know if they're the same person.
No, she's I think she moved to wellness this year. Sorry, she's a competitor out of Atlanta.
Okay.
But I met her. She came to the table, and oh my gosh, every year.
Yeah.
Are you going to be there? There's the Southeastern Conference in February that they do down in.
Yeah, you're talking about my friend Nisha. Like, yeah, like this one, right?
Nisha Luke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we were at the National Fit Show together. Like, yeah. So no, that's my girl.
Yeah.
She's so awesome.
But when you said like you want like the repeat people, like she has been such a supporter, like ever since we met her.
Yeah.
So she'll be, hey, are you doing anything in near me? If not, hey, when can I go ahead and get this order in? So I'm gonna ship, or I'm gonna do a show here.
Yeah.
How long in advance do I need to order? So like. Usually we always say, because they're like you said, the marketing and the advertising, and that gets so expensive. And I'm like, I just don't have the money for that.
Right.
So it's our advertising is when we go to these, events and shows and stuff. And it's like, we just got to get it in your hand.
Yes.
Once I get it in your hand.
See, yeah.
You're going to come back.
And that's the way I feel about Fight. It's the same thing. Yeah, tell them. Do you drink Fight? Do you drink Fight?
Yeah. That got me off of, I was drinking so many energy drinks every single day and coffee, and like that got me out of that routine of having that caffeine headache.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Let's go.
Thank God.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
No. I love it. I
so
love the
funny
strawberry.
because there's so many people that drink Fight on the low.
And they don't want to tell anybody.
I'm like, tell everyone. But it's hilarious.
Please tell some people.
Over here, like, if I see one person put out freaking C-Bum stuff on their Instagram and then not tag me when they're drinking Fight every day, I'm like, y'all are killing me with this. Like
he doesn't need extra
and
promotion.
he doesn't care. I mean, not to be, I'm sure, like, whatever.
I'm sure he does. But
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So we've talked about Fight quite a bit, and I have a perspective on it that I feel like that's the best. Like, yes, there's caffeine in it, but that's not the point of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's a really important distinction, because people get energy drinks because they want the energy, they want the caffeine.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a drink that has caffeine in it, but it also has the main purpose of it, just the vitamins and
the nootropics.
the nootropics,
Yeah,
right?
for the focus.
Right.
So you talking about you need to bake some cookies.
Exactly.
It's like,
Exactly.
I'm over get in.
Like, I think I don't remember if I text you this or if we saw each other and I was like, yo, how many scoops am I allowed to have this in a day?
Dude,
Right.
Like,
literally.
I'm not looking at the label right now
Right.
because I'm not the average person at this moment going on probably an 18-hour day. And I'm like, now we've got this
That's the
big
most
event.
common question people ask me.
I was trying to think about a way to put it. It's like it can replace your energy drink, but it is not an energy drink.
Right.
Like
exactly.
both things are true.
Right.
Like just because it can replace your energy drink doesn't mean that that's its sole or even main purpose, which I think is cool, because you could.
Yeah.
Like, how many people, I mean, like you were talking about the milligrams of caffeine that you were drinking every single day.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was bad, to be real. And y'all were, Matt and you were talking about it. I was like, oh
It
my
was
Lord.
bad.
So the point
It
being
was
is
bad
kind of like
there
we were
for a
talking
bit.
about
Yeah.
with the alpha cookies. This is healthy for you. So it's
Right.
not even like just a better option. It's like you're willing to drink 4 or 5 regular Monsters with hundreds of grams of sugar
Right.
and all this
Man.
other stuff.
Yeah.
But this
But
one has
yeah.
nootropics. It's good for you.
And
Yeah.
but the other thing too is that, like, I think with both of our stuff we're talking about product wise is like these are more of like a premium product, because your cookies are like more. I mean, they're expensive than just getting cookies from whatever, right? But again, I mean, because I don't know crumble cookies, I've never had them, but like those, like I don't know what their ranges are and stuff. So like, do you find it hard in a sense of like when it comes to selling? Because like, for example, with me, it's like someone will be like, oh, I'll just go get a Red Bull. But I'm like, but you're drinking that every day and it's like $2.50 a can. And then you see, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, per scoop with a serving. So it's
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, it'll last you a whole month. Even that's for one a day. So it's like, you know what I mean?
Trying to get people to realize that it's like, hey, this is not necessarily like I have 4 wholesalers.
Okay.
So right now we are in Carbon.
Yep.
In Carbon Borough. We are in Gold's Gym, the one-off Memorial.
Nice, yeah.
Ruck Nutrition.
Yep.
And we have a new one down in Rome, Georgia.
Yeah,
Spartan
I saw that.
Smoothie.
Yeah,
Spartan
that went on
Smoothies.
his podcast. Yep.
Yes.
Congrats.
I love them.
Yeah, super sweet.
So would it be easier for me to send somebody to one of the locations to be like, yeah, just go pick one up? But then I've literally had people come back and they'll be like, they're so expensive. And I'm like, I don't, I wholesale.
Right.
So I offer sales.
Yes.
On my end.
Yes.
To try to make it easier. Now, Carbon, when we first started, it took a little bit to get up there, but they were selling like 100, 115 a week.
Wow.
That they were going through. And I don't think they have any issue selling out still.
Yeah.
So, but that is kind of like our home base.
Right.
Like we do all of like our local pickups and everything there. So, and Ramon trains out of there, obviously. So he's obviously there to answer questions or I kind of like pop in and out randomly when I see people. But it's offers them a way to like, well, I don't want to get a box.
Yeah.
I want to try one. Let me see what it is, and then I might do it.
Exactly.
So getting people over the fact that, hey, a single flavor box on any given day is $25. I'm like, okay, well, you're getting 6 cookies that are, I think our lowest is 5.6 ounces.
Yeah.
Up to like 7 ounces.
Yeah.
I think our biggest one goes up to 7 ounces.
Right.
So I'm like, these are not Oreos. They're
Yeah,
not little.
exactly.
They're not Chips Ahoy. They're not like thin. They are going to be big, thicker, like large cookies. So definitely getting your money's worth.
Yeah, but that's it too. Is I'm sure it's expensive for you to make them also. Like with everything you have to do. And that was something too that like, you know, because again, like it's a hard balance, right? Of like, when do you do sales? When do you do whatever? Like, because I mean, I don't put the prices of what I have for the manufacturer I use. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually just upped it for me. So, like, so originally I had a deal and it was like, you know, you're an OG, so we're going to do 250 units is the lowest you can do. Or that's like the minimum. Okay. Yeah. And someone might be like, oh, that's not a lot, whatever. But it's like, you guys, like, that's a lot when you're first starting out. And this is like not something that you make money off of, like, on a quick return. Right. Right. Like, you know, so then I got to have 250 to store and like also have that and then sell those or whatever. And like, again, so that's a whole thing in itself. But then now it's 500. And they just said that, like, there was no disclaimer. There was no, hey, just want to let you know, next time you order, we're going up. It was like, hey, yeah, so you will place an order 500. And I'm like, so now thousands of dollars doubled. Right. Just to get my order in. Yeah. And, you know, and so again, and that doesn't include the labeling, you know, and so, and your packaging has gotten a lot better. Like, I love that. Like, you know, but what you've done with it. And so it's like, and so you progress with things, right? That becomes more expensive. Man. And then to get it shipped, like, so there's so much with that. So when it comes to like events and stuff, I definitely feel you on, hey, that's why I try to tell people, take the advantage of it. We give out free packets every time. Oh, yeah. We have free samples that you can drink the whole time. You can fill up your water bottle with you. I mean, literally, you're set. Oh, yeah. You know, so that's where, I mean, it's like they have opportunities. Yeah. So, you know, and then when people will be like, oh, like, if it's expensive or whatever, I'm like, become a Patreon member on here. Like, subscribe, Patreon member, you get free shipping for life. You're welcome. Awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but people won't sign up and do that. Or like, and even when they do sign up for Patreon, you get canisters for free, like to start out. Yeah. So it's like, you know, and then like I'll do like a 2 for $60 or whatever. Yeah. So I try to be creative with it and try to be like, again, mindful and throw some packets in there and whatever. Because I believe in the product. I know you believe in yours as well, and which is awesome, you know. And you can tell with that. So in terms of like where you want to see it go, like dream, you know, like, I mean, like what would be your ideal? Because like you have it wholesale, so you're doing some of that, which is great. But then you're selling it online, you know, and then you have this website. But like, what have you imagined with it?
I kind of want, like, I go back and forth of a storefront or like just a warehouse. Okay. I know what comes with the storefront.
Yeah.
From being in the service industry. Now, obviously, it's a lot different. And, you know, being the owner, I could make my own hours.
Right.
But I'm like, so much more overhead comes with. Like, you have to be open to be able to, like, and I can't guarantee that people are going to come in and
but you still
buy
gotta pay that
anything.
rent every time.
Yeah.
You know, regardless.
Rent's due on the first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even that goes with, you know, having a warehouse or whatever, but I would love to build the online to where I didn't have to worry about it, and that I could hire people to be able to help.
Yeah. Lord. No, I get that for sure. So, and that's, I love that. So, I think that a lot of things that people think are success in this type of, in the product industry is not actually success. Like, we've had people talk to us on here about like about having, you know, like in gas stations, like I had mentioned about, like, I would love to have Fight. You go in there, you grab it like a Bang, you know, you drink it or like a Monster or whatever. And you have that option. But again, it was like after talking with someone about that, they're like, actually, like, there's not a lot of money you're going to get out of that.
Right.
And it's like, oh man, that sucks. Cause like, I would really love for that to happen. You know what I mean? Just cause the idea, the concept is cool. And you think, but then when you talk to people and they're like, oh no, they're going to nickel and dime you every bit of the way.
Man.
They're going to take away from the profit. So if you want to do it for like a nostalgia, like, you know, like we just out here, we got the money to spend, like whatever.
Right.
Then like, yes, you know, but it's not.
She was also saying like, she was talking a lot about like, what do you identify as success? Even like with her being in a bunch of stores, she said that she was having a conversation with herself, like, okay, like, so like, it's 100 stores. Am I good? Like, am I successful now? Should it be 1,000?
Right.
Should it be like a?
It's so hard to, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, yeah, I'm in a store. I'm in 2 stores. Or hey, I'm in a.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for subscribing to the Love Your Body podcast on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're listening. I appreciate you so much for sharing these stories, listening, and just, you know, being a part of the DDF community. If you are interested in any challenges I have coming up, the Get Your Movement In Challenge is launching here soon, so stay tuned for that, as well as online programming. Would love to work with you from all over. And you guys, I'm just so blessed and so thankful for this season of time. Please, you know, if you get a chance to share the mission, rate the podcast, whatever you want to do, comment, let us know what you think about it. We would love the support, and we're always looking for sponsors. So if you're someone that's listening right now and you want to get your business out there as well, we'd love to have you as a sponsor. And so let us know at Danny@DandyFitness.com. Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to the LYB podcast. If you haven't yet, please go check out the How to Love Your Body Throughout book on Amazon. This is my very first book. I am so proud of it. It is a short read. You can also get it on Kindle, so it's not a huge commitment, but it is something of a self-help book. So if you're someone who's looking for support, you're looking for tools, you're looking for just a way to feel better during this holiday season and into the new year, I definitely recommend it. I put my heart and soul into this, and this is just the start. So if you haven't yet, go on Amazon and get your first copy.
Third, or now I'm in my fourth place, but guess what? You don't make a ton of money there, but what it does is that takes marketing off of me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It makes it, I don't want to say like, not my responsibility. It always is, but it makes it more of,
it's just distributing. It's different channels.
Help. Right. When I'm like, okay, my arms, I'm full. Yeah. I don't have anything else. So, but you know what? Hey, go grab one. They've got it. Yeah. They've got it. It's still selling. My product is still getting out there, even though I'm not physically having to deliver or ship it. Right. So, and we've met so many people that have been like, we had a lady that used to drive like an hour. Mm-hmm. And she was like, when are they going to be there? They'll be Monday morning. She's like, okay.
Rolls up real quick.
Every Monday morning. I remember when Chris was at Carbon, when he was still at the front desk, he would have people like 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Right.
Waiting for them to load the cookies into the fridge.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, oh my gosh. That's got to be such a good feeling.
I was like, thanks, guys.
I love that so much.
Like having people like, oh, we don't have gym memberships here.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, we just came to grab some cookies.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks.
No, literally, I came in for Thanksgiving and like Cody and them were like, clearly you're not working out. You know, 'cause like full outfit, you know, heels, whatever. I was like, no, I sure am not. I came for the alpha cookies. Like,
I just can't pick up.
Already got my stuff in this morning.
Yeah.
So can you not, or are you already like looking to do things like that, like delegating, like at the stage that you're at now? Like, can people take some of the things off?
I would love that, but it's a matter of finding the right person to bring in, because this is. I'm not like a big corporate entity. Like it's like you said at the very beginning, like it's just really just me. And then, you know, Ramon will, you know, do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So, but like all of the, like the tedious stuff and finding somebody to,
building that team.
Yeah. But then again, it's like, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Everything is so expensive. And I want to make sure that when I can bring somebody on, that I don't get in a position where I'm having to nickel and dime them. No, I want to pay you what you're worth.
Right.
I want to bring somebody in that, hey, I trust you with everything, that you're not going to like take our recipes and like go off and do your own thing.
Oh, 100%.
Because I've had somebody actually already try to do that.
Really?
She was like, hey, I'm kind of starting something with my daughter. Could you give me a couple of your recipes? I was like,
what are you talking about?
I was like,
absolutely not. Right.
I was like, okay, how do I let you down easy?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
So I do want to ask you about this. So like, do you feel like, in terms of like with that, like, do you feel like you're mentally, I don't know how to say it. Like at the point of wanting to ask for help, like you're able to ask for help.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I've been there.
Okay.
Been there. I've been saying that I want to bring somebody in, but it's just been a matter of timing.
Yeah.
And, you know, the financial part, because again, what I need from whoever I do bring in is not going to be light.
Right.
I'm like, I wear 1,000 hats. I need you to take half of them for me.
Well, no, for sure.
But to be able to make sure that their time is compensated and that they are here because they want to be here. They're going to be enjoyable, not just, hey, she said she needs somebody to come in and like help, you know, as like an assistant type thing, like, and they're just there.
Do you feel like that person that you're imagining, like that, like what is it called, like a whatever that like Avatar is, you know, the Avatar, like, do you feel like that person is real, or do you feel like that they are out there? Because I'm
sure hoping so.
Because I've been saying for years, I was like, I'll find someone that's like someone like me, like for like a long time. And then I had to kind of take it back and be like, actually, because what I was doing was I was putting on so much of like, I do all these things, so you could do half, like you could do this onto people, and realizing, oh, that's not their strength. And like, oh, they were choosing not to do certain things. So what I had to kind of pivot and do was being like, okay, what are you good at? Like what can you, like, what are you proficient at?
Strong suits?
You do this and this. Okay. That's what I want you to focus on. Yeah. And then that's that person. Then like now this other person has come through and like, they're like, I'm really just focusing on this part of it. I'm like, awesome. Y'all need to integrate though. Y'all need to talk. Yeah. But make sure that we're on the same page, whatever. Like Logan knows that he knows my assistant or whatever, so he can like talk to her if like anything needs to be about like timing is delayed or whatever, podcast stuff, you know. So it's like that, or newsletters or whatever. And then it's like, okay, now I got this other person that I'm bringing on. And I like, but you know what I mean? And it's like, I wish that there was like that one person, maybe they're out there, maybe they're listening right now, like, oh, I want to be a part of Danny Fitness, you know, whatever. Yep. Like, and they're like, come on, sign me up right now. But it was like so difficult, and I kept waiting, and you know what I mean. And then now,
I just want to say real quick with Mike, the first thing that comes to mind too, that I was whenever I've had to try to have people work with me, there's a lot of the same frustrations. And one thing that I feel like I was doing wrong, at least, is expecting them, because this is like a cardinal sin when you bring people on, expecting them to care about it as much as you do. It's not.
Yes.
It's not their business. Like
Yes.
you're willing to do 100% of those things.
Yes.
They may not even be willing to do the 50, not because they can't, because they just don't even care about it the same way that you do.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking about with you. Like, it's like, man, you have so many people that support you, but then also it's like, they may be looking at it as like, yeah, they post or tag you a couple times, but they don't know that like, you're like in the back of your mind, I got to sell 50 of these by the end of the week or the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like y'all over here just like saying, like, you see what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
So I get where there's a disconnect, and I've tried to be so transparent with people, and I've literally been like, hey, if you're going to be an ambassador for me, this is what's expected of you.
Right.
This is what we're agreeing on. You're going to get free product, this, whatever, but I need you to at least sell X amount. Yeah. And where is this doable? I've had these conversations multiple times, and the people are like,
doable,
and they're literally like, yeah, I got you, easy, got it. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it'll go on for like, months, and nothing ever happens. But again, I know that their intention's there, so I'm like, yeah, like that's great, but also like, come on, like, you know what I mean?
It definitely it goes. It is really tricky, like ambassador wise. Like we have a couple athletes, but I have been so hesitant to bring anyone new on because. Like you said, and I'm like, I've got my core group that have been rocking with me, and I'm over here like, oh, if I bring somebody else in, is it going to be like stepping on toes?
Those people have a little bit. I feel like if you hired someone, you're the boss. For whatever reason, again, in my experience, like whenever you have a sponsored athlete or whatever, they feel like they're the boss. Not you in particular, but like in the past, whenever I've worked with people, where I'm like, no, you have to be very specific. Like you were saying, this is what we expect. This is what you get back.
Yeah.
Because if not, that can be a tricky thing too.
Yeah.
And my whole thing too, I just, again, this is like the anomaly that I've never figured out, because these people always come to me. I don't search for them.
Yeah.
They come to me. Like, I bleed like Danny D, like black and blue. And I'm like, okay, let's go. And then when it comes to it, it's like, no. But again, everything is a learning opportunity. You learn from it, you take from it, you're like, okay. And so it's better. I now finally feel like, and I know finally, it's like not even like whatever, but like after being in business, we're going to be on 8 years, that I am able to be like, okay, like, here's this role, this person's in it. Here's this role, this person's in it. Like, and because I'm looking at it, let's try to build this like up.
Right.
Versus, I feel like before I was just like, I don't know. I feel like my mindset was just so streamlined. Like I was like, I'm going to get to the top, but I'm going to skip all these steps. And like that person's going to help me and be my everything. And that's too much pressure on just the one person.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so I wanted to ask you this too, when it comes to like, with doing this, and I know Ramon believes in it, which is great. So you've had his support and everything.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, so is it an LLC? Like, has it been?
Yeah.
Okay. LLC, all that stuff. So, is it to the point where you could ever be like, hey, could you come on and like do more with it? Like to help you? Do you know what I mean?
As far as like bringing somebody.
Like, yeah. Like, you know how sometimes people are like, well, you said you worked well together.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, is there anything that he would be able to do in terms of like more marketing or, so I don't know, something with it?
Well, I mean, he has his full-time like training business.
Yeah.
But besides that, like I think he gets, and this is not because he's actually a really good trainer.
Yeah.
I think he gets more questions about the cookies anyway.
Oh my!
When he's at Carbon, he's always like. So I think sometimes he's like, that's Heidi's thing,
right?
But
yes,
he does he really does well with giving them the information that they need.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Why don't you hit up the page? Heidi's is the one who's going to respond to you.
Okay.
Because she is usually the one who like is doing all of it. So when people DM like to order or ask questions, it's me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not an automated thing. It's not like somebody else. Like when I say I do all of it, it is I'm answering. So thank you everybody for being so patient with me.
For sure.
As far as like responding to certain things or like getting stuff shipped out, like it's such a process that
Well, and things can get missed.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, and so I totally get that. And
Yeah.
And so it can be a lot. So what I do want to know is, like, in terms of, because you've gone through, you know, bodybuilding, you've had so many injuries from what you said. How do you, like, mentally feel like, because when you're trying to run a business and you're trying to grow and you're in that grind, I know how you can feel so depleted. Like, you can feel so, like,
man,
like, constantly there. Like, is there anything for someone listening? Because there's people out there who probably are like, man, like, you know what? Like, I should try. I should start something. Maybe I do have a product that's worth, you know, doing or whatever. Maybe I could sell something on Instagram, you know, anyway. But, like, I feel like so many women don't have enough people to hear this from. So it's like, you know, and they don't have enough people to ask. So it's like, is there anything that you would tell them of, like, that you maybe would have done differently or that you do to help you get it all done?
Differently, I would have just jumped in it.
Okay. You wouldn't have kept holding on to the, okay.
I would have just jumped in it because I feel like a lot of, and I still have, like, growing pains and stuff that I'm learning. Because obviously as an entrepreneur, like, this journey is,
it's wild.
So much growth.
Yeah.
And so much knowledge is learned, like, every day. Like, I can be like, oh, I didn't think about that. That's going to make my life so much easier today. Oh, okay. And then translating that into every week and every month. And I'm like, man, that was way smoother.
Right.
I definitely, I would have jumped.
Was it because of the hesitancy of money? Like, because you had that full time and you were just like, I don't like.
No, I second guess myself. And, like, there's stuff even now, like, if I make something new.
Yeah.
And I'll look at Ramon and I'm just like, like, he'll try it for the first time, or, like, I'll have one of the kids try it and I'm like, what do you think? And I'm over here and I'm, like, biting my nails, like, oh my gosh, like, hiding, like, please be okay. And I mean, because there's been a couple times where, like, when I say I botched, oh my gosh, it was terrible.
Well, you're not perfect. Like, you can't be like, everyone's gonna hit. Like,
like, and I don't know what it was. I think it was our middle one. I botched a recipe and he tried it and he was like, Mom, that's not good. And I bawled my eyes out.
My
and I, like, took everything on the pan and I just tossed it in the trash can. And Ramon was like, what are you doing? I would have ate those.
Right. And you're just like, no, this is, like, not.
Oh, yeah. Like, I really do. Yeah. I really do care about being able to help somebody find enjoyment.
Yeah.
Like, it's
why is that?
I'm a giver. Like, I always have been. I'm always about, like, helping and wanting to, and maybe that's the mom in me.
Well, are you an only child or do you have?
Oh no.
Were you
one of 6?
You were 6. Okay.
Yeah. One of 6.
Middle or?
I'm a baby girl, but I'm number 5.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, having that, but I don't know. It's always been something that I kind of gravitate towards. Like, all of my jobs that I've had, including, like, right when I started serving, they're like, oh, well, she's a mom. She's more mature, and I'm over here, and I'm like, oh God, don't give me this. Don't give me this. Don't give me this. I'm not ready for it. And then I jump into it. And, like, so every situation that, you know, job-wise that I've had has been the, like, mom figure or like, oh, we need somebody who can help, like, conflict resolution. Oh, go get Heidi. She's great. She's got kids. So she can get her kids to behave. So it pushes me into that. So it, like, if I can help somebody else find an outlet and through cookies.
Yeah.
But it makes you happy.
Right.
Okay, hey, I'm going to try this. And you know what? That, like, watching the girls, especially at Fit Show.
Yeah.
Like, the first time they get some and like, I'll watch them open the pack.
Yeah.
And I'm just like sitting in the back. I kind of, like, duck down and I'm like I want to see your natural expression.
Right.
Because 99% of the time you're like, and they look up, they'll take a bite and they look up at me, or they'll
Yeah.
look at Ramon and be like,
Yeah.
what sorcery is
Right,
this? And I'm over
yeah.
here and I'm like it just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
You mentioned this was going to be my last question earlier, but you've mentioned that a couple, probably 3 or 4 different times about how you enjoy watching someone's reaction. And you mentioned it at the Fit Expo, but you also mentioned it with your kids. You also so in like different areas. So it's kind of similar because you kind of answered it in the last question too. But like that's an interesting thing too. Like why do you think that is that you enjoy that specific moment so much?
I wonder if it's because and you know I don't think I have like a definitive answer for it, but I think because I am usually here all day, like by myself. Like every morning this week, I've been up between 3 and 3:30.
Yeah.
To start baking, or prepping, or trying to package something or print something. I'm like, so I'm by myself for a good portion of we'll call that my work day.
Yeah.
And then I'll pause and get my kids ready and then send them off to school and then start up again. And then, it's time to get them off the bus. Like, so being able to have that interaction with another adult.
Yeah.
It is very fulfilling feeling. Yeah. Like, I remember the first time I had Fight and I was like, Danny, what is it? Like, there's something about something that, hey, even if I'm not making it with my own hands, like this is my baby.
Yeah.
So knowing that, like, I helped somebody or like I made, even for a split second, I made somebody happy with something that I'm doing, like,
yeah, it's fulfillment.
Man.
Yeah.
So I love when we see people and they come back or like, Niche.
Yeah.
She'll DM me and she's like, Heidi, what time? I think this past year it was, what time are you going to have the table there? What time? Because this was the third year that we were there. And when I say we sell out before finals, we sell out before finals.
For sure.
Everybody, like, when they're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting the table set up.
I sent my girls over there immediately. Yeah.
Oh, every time. Or you'll be like, hey, Heidi, can you set these back for me? I need these.
Literally. Like,
to make sure that those ones don't sell out.
Yeah.
And we had one lady the first year, she kept saying, hey, I'm going to come back. And I'm like, I can't guarantee that this is going to be here. So it sells out and the flavors that they want sell out. So the fact that we have people who like Niche, well, what time are you going to be there?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I get what I want because I missed out on something last year.
Yes.
And I'm like,
Your enthusiasm about it.
man.
And it really is beautiful because when I'm sitting here thinking about it, when you're saying that, like, it was like, a girl she's a pro, but she came up to the booth and talked about, she was like, Fight is like this is what gets me through. Like, this is so amazing. You know what I mean? And I was just like, thank you. Like, you make
comments about podcasts that I've done before. And I'm like, you don't like, I need to hear that. That's what we do it for right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I need to hear that got you through a night or
But see, sometimes I get on such autopilot though, that it's like, I know it's so good, and I you know what I mean, because I drink it every day, so I'm not going to promote something that I don't, actually believe in. But like, and that's why it's so important with like all the stuff with whoever it's with you guys or my massage therapist or whoever. Like, I'm like, go to them because they're the best. Like, I don't work with not the best, and I'm trying to eliminate like the trial and error that I always had to go through with everything. And so I'm like, let's streamline it. Don't waste your time with this and this and this. Go to them, do that, like, whatever. But it's like sometimes you get so like wrapped up in the for me it's just like, well, like obviously like you should know about it. So to have someone be like, actually, because sometimes at those booths and stuff people can be like really like not nice, for and I'm sure you've had that happen too. But even just being like, oh, I don't, like I can't like it'll be like I don't do like I can't with this. It literally kills me. They'll have like a soda in their hand, but then they'll be like, oh, like what's the sugar used with this?
That's funny.
And I want to look. I'm be like, hold on, let me borrow that can for you.
But literally,
just shut that down for a second, then I'll show you.
Or it'll be like, oh, I don't do supplements or whatever, and I'm like, okay, like again, it's just so interesting, and I'm like, just try the sample. Like, don't give me like a lip or like whatever, or you know what I mean? It's just try it or walk away. Like, you know, and so it's just so interesting. But anyway, so sometimes it can feel so defeating. And so that's why I love having my girls at the booth, because a lot of times, honestly, I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I know with you.
Ramon. That is, oh my gosh, that's Ramon to a T.
Yeah.
He gets so, and I think it's more because he's protective.
Yes.
Because he knows, like, blood, sweat, and tears literally have gone into this.
100%.
And like, usually when we go to those events, we're taking 300.
Yeah.
350.
Right.
So the first year we did them, it was before I had my double oven. I could only make 6 at a time, every 20 minutes.
My God.
Yeah.
6 at a time every 20
That's
minutes?
awful.
So
That
that's
is
what, in an hour, that's
24.
Damn, I'm terrible at math.
18.
18.
And it's not, and guys, like, listening,
I went to
like,
magnet school, and I'm over here. I'm like, wait a minute, carry the one.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But it's not like
no,
she can make
18.
these 2 weeks in advance, y'all. Like,
that's
it's
what
gotta
that's what I was
be,
about to say. So, like,
it's
how-
gotta
Right.
be,
No, for events,
Yeah.
I only bake either so Fit Expo or Fit Show next year it'll be on Saturday. I will only bake on Thursday and Friday.
right.
But I'm literally, when I say I'm baking
Like, down to
Friday,
the minute.
I will
Yeah.
bake
Yeah,
up until like
until
3
she's got-
o'clock Saturday
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
So when she goes to the events, it's like she's sitting there like this isn't the time for her to like be the seller. This is like, I did all of this. And that's why it's key to have those people that can like be at the booth, can do the
Yes.
things, because it's like, you know, and just have their experience with it and like to talk to people and stuff like that. So those people are like crucial, even if they're not like paid, you know, whatever.
Especially when they're not paid.
Yes.
Especially when they're not paid.
And
And that's
The
why it's
fact that
important.
you are choosing
Yeah.
to come
They
and
believe in it that much.
be here and
Yeah.
help, like I know all of my people that we have, I've done all of their boxes for shows this year.
Yeah.
We had 2 Olympians, both top 5. Hey,
Which is an awesome.
Shout out to Vanya.
Yes, Vanya.
And Emmanuel Hunter. He's out of Alabama.
Awesome.
But yeah, like being able to at least do that and take care of that stuff is huge, because I know that they appreciate it. Like, I know
For sure.
Q just did his national show.
Yep.
Took care of his.
Nice.
Zoe went with him. I took care of Zoe's.
Yeah.
HUD's got his show. Jackie,
Right. Yeah.
she's going next week too.
Okay. Gotcha.
For Texas. Like, just being able to take that off their plate and be like,
Right.
hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for supporting me.
For
Thank
sure.
you for helping. HUD, he is our, if people don't know, he helps do a lot of the recipes.
Okay. Cool.
So he is the Huddy Bun.
Yeah.
is named
Honey
after
Bun. Yeah.
him.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Huddy Bun is named after him. And he's probably done, I'm going to say between like, if I lowball it, maybe like 6 flavors.
Oh, wow.
Highball it, probably like
Okay.
10.
Nice.
So he's huge. Like, I don't ever, sorry, HUD, you're stuck with us. I don't ever see him letting him go.
Yeah.
He's like family. But like, just being able to have those people that you
Right.
like trust and you can run something by and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And then like, I truly trust your opinion.
Right.
To where I'm not going to get my feelings hurt.
Which is awesome.
If it's not what I'm expecting to hear.
Right.
Like, oh, no, maybe you should try this. No, that wasn't great. Or, oh, that was really, really good. Or, hey, why don't you do this? And I'm like, okay. Like, it's refreshing to have another pair of eyes and
100%.
a group of people that are willing to do that for you.
And that takes time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finding those people and things like that, and then coming to you. So I love that you have that. And again, I've always loved that you've supported, you know, my challenges. You've supported, you know, events, like again with the cookie, all the other stuff. Like, means a lot, because, like I said, I will promote people all the time, and again, it's not about getting anything back in return. You know what I mean? Because I have some people that they've literally given me things for free for years. I've had people who've always given me a discount. I've had people who've never given me a discount at all. Like, you know, but again, and I still refer people to them because I'm like, I know that they're the best, and they've done, you know what I mean? So it's been great to have that. And so I really appreciate that. So I definitely want to know, kind of like from an outsider, like in, like, because I don't even know when I don't know how we even connected or anything like that. But like as we like wrap up the podcast, I kind of wanted to know like what was your initial like with Deity Fitness? Like what
I
thoughts?
saw your stuff, the tire flip.
Okay.
So I saw all the tire flip stuff, and then I think it was just maybe through like Carbon or like Nutrition Factory.
Yeah, probably Nutrition Factory. Yeah.
Cause, but it was, hey, she's this strong woman, and I was like, oh, okay. That was a realm that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
Like even Ramon being a pro, I'm still like, oh, it's just a different avenue, and to be able to see a female do it is like, okay. And it's hometown.
Yes.
It's hometown.
Yes.
So I always got to root for the home team.
Right.
So, cause there's not a lot of us now that are here in Tennessee that are from here.
Yes.
So,
You got that right.
but it's good to see somebody else know the struggle.
Yeah.
It's good to see it's heartwarming to watch from where you start and you see the growth and you see the growth and you're like, man, she's got her foot in another, like she's doing something else. She's doing something else. She's doing something else. Like she really is like a one woman show, knowing how many of your ladies that I have come in contact with. And I know that it's not a one woman show.
Yeah.
But like, just to be able to watch the growth and be like, okay, if she can do this, I got this. Even though it's different realms.
Yeah, 100%.
It's different realms. So I'm like, I know the back labor, the back stuff, behind the scenes stuff is very different in the different aspects, like business wise. But it's like, okay, I'm going to find my people who are going to be able to, help with like the stuff that you have. Like when I meet Katie at Carbon, I love Katie.
Yeah.
I love Katie.
Oh, she's the best.
Yeah, she
really is the best.
She really is. I think she was one of the ones that I when I asked you, I was like, well, who's going to the Christmas party? You're like, Katie, you'll be there.
Yes.
Like, yay.
Aww.
But like, I want to find my Katie.
Yeah.
Like to be able to find my Katie is literally like, that's the goal in the coming few months to be able to have that so that I can try to streamline and take it to the next level and to be able to grow.
And also for those listening too, like, so Katie's a client, but she is always asked to come to everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's like, hey, do you need help with this? I'm like, yeah, like, I can do it myself, but like, if you want to, like, because there was years I did it by myself or years that just mom did it with me or whatever. And so she's always asked, like, she's not paid anything. It's not like an ambassadorship thing. Like it is genuinely like because of the kindness of her heart. So I think there are those people who are willing to do that and that's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, that to me is like such a great support and just representing the brand and like what this mission is.
Oh yeah.
And that has been so crucial. And just like, that's the fulfillment for me,
man,
because it's not a transaction of like a constant, you know what I mean? But again, there are people that are like that too. And that's totally fine. Like, I don't like that work with me that I don't need them to be best friends. Like, you know what I mean? Like it is we're in, we're out, like whatever. Or even with certain clients, you know? So it's like, so it's just the different relationships, you know?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, that makes me feel so good. And thank you for, saying all that. And you know, I can't let you leave here without asking you the question.
Oh,
so
gosh.
like I ask everyone,
okay,
what is something that you love about your body?
Oh Lord.
I know you're like, I've gone through 3 C-sections. I had all these injuries, surgeries.
Honestly, like, and I say this as I literally feel like my body is like falling apart. It's such a crazy thing where us as women, like, we can go through so much.
Yeah.
And it's always, I can have a better day tomorrow. So to know that, next week I'm going to get some rest.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to get rest and trying to, like, I brought 3 pretty badass kids into this world.
Yeah.
Like, biggest accomplishment. Like, and obviously, like, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. And they are amazing in the fact that my husband, all my tiger stripes.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't one of those women that were blessed to not, you know, have a ton of stretch marks.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
And to know that after 17 years, like, he still doesn't care.
Right.
Is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And even though I might not necessarily be like, oh, that's not really flattering. You know what? I have somebody at home that has loved me at 128 pounds.
Yeah.
And has loved me at 212 pounds. And to know that I have gone in every stage in between there, like, it's all about finding what works for you.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's beautiful that you said that again, because it's like, that's what I've told people all the time about, like, you got to be with somebody that's going to be with you no matter what, because we are women, our bodies change, stuff happens, things hit the fan that are out of your control sometimes too.
Yeah.
And same thing with being pregnant, all the things, right? And it genuinely, that I think is what I've always gathered from y'all's relationship that I viewed as like a admiration for, of like, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that right there, that true love, because again, as long as the main important thing is that you love yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, from there to have someone that appreciates it and understands, like, that it's more than just a body. Like, bodies change. You're more than just that.
Oh,
You're so much, and you're more than just a mom. You're more than just, a businesswoman now. Like, you're so much, you're so many different things. And so, no, it's like I said, it's been beautiful to watch. I love that you continually fight for what you want, the epitome of that. And even when it's like, you could easily be like, no, I'm out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta take a break, or I gotta do this or whatever. But again, you find those spaces for your time, like you said, to decompress, anything like that. And it's just a journey, and we're all working on it. But I've just been so proud to watch how you've grown and everything. And will always be, one of the, I won't say number one supporter, because you got so many number one supporters, but like one of the main supporters. So
I really appreciate that. And I know you guys, and you've had so many of your ladies like reach out and start supporting. And like, I know when I told you about the cookie, like, that was the biggest thing. Like, you didn't ask for anything. And it's like just a natural, hey, I support you.
Yeah.
I support what you're doing. I love the product that you're making. I want other people to love it as much as I do. Right. And to know that there are other people out there like that. Like, that's who I want to surround myself with, because
love it.
On those days where you're like, oh, this is not a good day. I'm not really feeling this today. Like, whether in business or like in personal, or just like about yourself, like having those people around and knowing that those people are still there supporting, even on your bad days.
It makes all the difference.
It makes you be like, all right, let me get my butt up.
Yes.
Let me get my butt up, and let me go do another day. Let me go clock back in real quick 100%. And put my hat on. And, when you get to lay down, you can have that fulfillment and be like, even when sometimes you're like, man, I'm just worn out. Like, to know that you're getting
drive.
To help other people is huge.
100%. I love that so much. Well, thank you, Heidi. This was amazing. Thanks. And I appreciate you. And until next time.